Remy Ma is fighting for her life, and Papoose, he's refusing to leave her side. We're talking about a man who slept in hospital chairs, skipped meals, ignored calls, all because doctors whispered those gut-wrenching words. It might be too late. Is this the price of betrayal? A twist of fate? Or something much darker hiding beneath Remy Ma's final tears? Because sources close to the situation, yes, anonymous, trembling sources, say Remy collapsed suddenly and ever. Since that moment, Papoose hasn't let go of her hand. Not even once. Fans are crying. Social media is exploding. The streets of New York are silent. What's really going on behind those ICU doors? Did heartbreak break Remy's body? Is this her karma? Or a conspiracy? And here's the wildest part. Some say Remy made a deathbed confession that left Papoose absolutely shattered. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going deep. Because this isn't just drama. It's a tragedy unfolding in real time. And once you hear what we uncovered, you'll never look at Remy Ma the same again. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with the unthinkable. 1 minute, Remy Ma is laughing backstage, sipping from her diamond-studded water bottle, rocking a fur coat that probably cost more than your car. The next, she's collapsed on the floor, barely breathing, while Papoose screamed for help like his world had just ended. And maybe it did. Eyewitnesses backstage at a private industry event told Gossip Spill Vibe that Remy was off all night. One staff member, choosing to remain anonymous, probably to keep their job, said she wasn't herself. She looked pale, quiet, like something was weighing on her soul. But nobody expected this. Paramedics rushed her to Mount Sinai. And that's when the whispers started. First, it was just, she fainted. Then came the phrases that send chills down your spine. Unstable, critical, she's not responding. And that's when Papoose, the ride-or-die king himself, broke. Now let's rewind, because you know this ain't just about a random health scare. Not in this saga. Let's not forget the chaos Remy's been caught in over the past few months. The leaked footage of her sneaking out of a Manhattan hotel with 50 Cent. The viral rumors of her secret marriage to DJ Envy. That explosive fight with Clarissa Shields, where someone's wig ended up on a chandelier, and the heartbreak she caused Papoose when he found out on live TV that she might not even be his daughter's biological mom. It's been scandal after scandal, and now her body is waving the white flag. Insiders close to the family have revealed that Remy had been diagnosed with a stress-induced heart condition months ago. But she ignored doctors' warnings, allegedly telling one friend, "I've survived prison. I can survive anything." Yeah, but maybe not this. Papoose, who's been nothing but loyal through prison bids, cheating scandals, and baby mama drama, is crumbling. Multiple sources say he hasn't left her bedside once since she was admitted. He's been seen pacing the ICU hallway, face buried in his hoodie, whispering prayers, and telling staff, "She's my everything. I can't lose her." He even reportedly tried to fight off hospital security when they asked him to leave during a shift change. One nurse said, "He was like a man possessed. He kept yelling, 'If she dies alone, you'll have to bury me too.'" And the fans? Oh, they've gone from trolls to tearful. TikTok is flooded with edits of Remy and Papoose's most iconic moments. One fan tweeted, "I used to clown Remy, but this don't feel right. Papoose don't deserve this. Nobody deserves this." But here's where it gets even darker. There are rumors, strong ones, that Remy Ma might have known something was coming. A close friend of Remy's who reached out to us and risked it all to do so said that a week before her collapse, Remy had a private moment with her team where she allegedly said, "If anything happens to me, protect Pap." Protect him from what, Remy? What do you know that we don't? And here's the plot twist. Someone from her legal team reportedly showed up at the hospital the same night she was admitted. Not a publicist, not a manager, a lawyer. What was she planning? A will? A confession? Or something that could shatter everything we thought we knew? About her? That's the question keeping us, and fans across the globe, on edge. As of now, there's no official medical report, no statement from the family, just silence and sorrow. But in that silence, something is brewing. Because if this was just a fainting spell, wouldn't they say that? If she was stable, wouldn't Pap be smiling through the storm? But instead, He's been seen breaking down in the hospital chapel, clutching her chain like it's his last link to her. One janitor even claimed to hear Papoose say, "I should have forgiven her earlier. I waited too long." Ladies and gentlemen, it gets worse. Because right as Papoose was spotted holding Remy's hand, she reportedly tried to say something. A word, a name, something with just one syllable, but she couldn't finish it. Her monitors spiked, her lips trembled, and then she went unconscious again. What was she trying to say? Was it pap? Was it peace? Or was it, please? Please forgive me. We'll leave you to guess, because this story is just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, the walls of Mount Sinai are shaking, not from machines or monitors, but from the tidal wave of truth that's finally spilling out. Because guess what? Just as doctors scrambled to stabilize Remy Ma, the real story came crawling out of the shadows. And baby, it's uglier than anyone imagined. Multiple inside sources, anonymous but terrified, have now confirmed that Remy Ma's collapse wasn't just stress or exhaustion. It was triggered by a secret medical crisis she's been hiding for months. We're talking about undiagnosed heart damage, allegedly worsened by prescription abuse, emotional trauma, and, yes, severe anxiety caused by years of public scandals, courtroom drama, and behind-the-scenes betrayal. And here's where things spiral out of control. According to one leaked hospital record, blurred but very real-looking, Remy was on multiple medications to manage psychological strain and arrhythmic risk, which means she was being monitored for a potential heart episode. And she still chose to stay in the spotlight, attend events, and pick verbal fights with Clarissa Shields on IG Live. A nurse who allegedly treated Remy the night she was admitted said she kept mumbling about guilt, something she did wrong. Then she whispered, "Tell Pap I'm sorry." Sorry for what? Because moments after that whisper, Papoose sprinted out of the ICU, sobbing. And the very next hour, a letter surfaced online. A handwritten one, allegedly written by Remy. It was dated 2 weeks ago and was addressed not to her fans, not to her label, but to Papoose. The letter reads, "If anything ever happens to me, know that I never stopped loving you. I made mistakes. I was weak. But you were always the only man who saw me through it all. I just wanted you to be happy, even if it wasn't with me." Whoa. Did Remy Ma know she was running out of time? And here's the jaw dropper. The letter also mentions someone named E. Don't blame E. It was never love. It was a moment. One I regret. Who is E? Easy the block captain? Envy? Or someone worse? The internet is already doing forensic handwriting analysis like they're in a Netflix crime doc. TikTok detectives are comparing the strokes of the R's and the way she dots her I's. Twitter is digging up old texts and DM leaks. And Reddit? Don't even ask. They're trying to triangulate her pulse based on shadows and paparazzi pics from 3 weeks ago. But it doesn't stop there, because here's where the legal team comes back into the picture. A sealed envelope allegedly delivered to Remy's attorney the day before her collapse has now become the center of a brand new investigation. Whispers are flying that inside that envelope were documents naming a beneficiary to her estate. And it wasn't Papoose. Let that sink in. Was Remy planning to cut Pap out of everything? Or was she protecting him from something she didn't want? Traced back? One shady tabloid even claims the beneficiary is none other than a young girl from Remy's past, possibly a secret daughter, or worse, a secret sibling that no one knew about. And guess who's confirmed to be in New York right now? Dodging cameras? Fat Joe. Yep, the Terror Squad OG himself, allegedly spotted entering the hospital through a private entrance late last night. Coincidence or damage control? Because let's not forget, it was Fat Joe who vouched for Remy all these years, who called her the strongest woman in the game, who allegedly bailed her out of a deal that could have landed her back in jail just 2 years ago. So why would he show up now, with no public statement and no explanation? The only explanation, something huge is happening behind those closed hospital doors. Something that could rock hip-hop history and redefine everything we thought we knew about Remy Ma, Papoose, and the empire they built. Meanwhile, Papoose has gone completely off the grid. No IG lives, no tweets, no press, just silence. Except for one cryptic post, which he deleted 5 minutes after uploading. It read, "I was loyal to the end, even when I didn't understand the beginning." What does that mean? Fans think it's a reference to Remy's past lies, maybe even something she hid about the beginning of their relationship. Some are speculating that Remy was never fully honest about the father of her daughter, or that there were deals made behind the scenes to keep the real story buried. And the most viral theory of all? That Remy faked her paternity test. Results. Years ago, just to keep Pap by her side, because now some anonymous lab assistant is claiming a sample was misfiled under the wrong case number. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bigger than we thought. We started with a health scare. Now we're looking at forged medical documents, sealed legal envelopes, and a man who may have been living a lie for over a decade. And yet, despite everything, despite the betrayals, the secrets, and the near-death collapse, Papoose is still there. Still praying, still hoping, still refusing to walk away from the woman who just might have destroyed him. But what happens next might change everything. Because just as things were settling into tragedy, a new voice entered the story. And she's not staying quiet anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought the tears were drying and the chaos was slowing down, a new storm hit. And this time, it's not from Remy Ma, or even Papoose. It's from the last person we expected to speak, Clarissa Shields. Yes, the undefeated, unfiltered boxing champ and former enemy number 1 in Remy's personal soap opera. And what did she do? She went live. Standing in her gym, gloves still on, sweat dripping, and fury in her eyes, Clarissa looked straight into the camera and said, "I'm not going to fake sympathy just because she's laid up. Remy was moving like she was invincible. But karma, that don't miss. You play with people's lives, yours might get played too." Mic dropped. The comment section exploded. Some called her heartless. Others said she's just finally saying what everyone's been thinking. Because let's be real, Remy's been wrapped in lies, beef, and betrayal for years. And now that she's vulnerable, it's all bubbling to the surface like poison. But wait, that's not even the wildest twist. Shortly after Clarissa's "Live," a voicemail leaked, one she left for Papoose before Remy collapsed. In it, she said, "Pap, I know you ain't going to hear this now, but she's been lying. I ain't trying to hurt you, I'm trying to save you. There's things you don't know. Things she kept hidden even before you married her." What things? Reddit's already working overtime. A so-called family insider on a viral thread claims Clarissa was talking about Remy Ma's medical records, and that the collapse wasn't the first time. Allegedly, Remy had a prior incident, a minor stroke last year while overseas. And instead of getting treated, she allegedly paid off her team to stay silent so she wouldn't miss a festival booking. She risked her life for a paycheck. Let that sink in. And now? The hospital is swarmed. Paparazzi, reporters, even suspicious plainclothes officials who look like they're from some agency nobody can name. Why? Because it's not just about her health anymore. It's about potential fraud, whispers of fake insurance claims, falsified prescriptions, even rumors that someone close to Remy was funneling money from her label through shell companies. And guess who the paperwork links back to? Her stylist. Yeah, not a manager, not a business partner, her personal stylist. The one who used to post IG photos of her in Dior fits and custom wigs. Turns out he's being quietly questioned by federal agents for possible financial misconduct. Remy's entire empire is shaking. Meanwhile, Papoose? He's trapped in the middle of it all. Friends say he hasn't spoken a word to the press, not even to Fat Joe. One nurse told Gossip Spill Vibe he just sits at Remy's side, reading old texts from their early days together and crying silently. And yet through all of this, he's still refusing to leave. One hospital staffer claimed they overheard him say, "If she opens her eyes, I want mine to be the first she sees." But now comes the question nobody wants to ask. What if she doesn't? Open them? Because let's be clear, as of this moment, Remy Ma is still in critical condition. She's been in and out of consciousness. She's undergone 2 emergency procedures, and her legal team has now filed a private request to limit information released to the public, which, if you ask me, just makes it look even more suspicious. Fans are holding candlelight vigils in the Bronx. Radio hosts are dedicating throwback sets to her early music. And on Twitter, the hashtag #PrayForRemy is trending right next to Justice for Pap because people are torn. Is this a tragedy? A redemption story in the making? Or is this just the final chapter of a long overdue fall from grace? And here's the kicker. An exclusive source who claims to work in hospital billing says Remy was uninsured at the time of her admission. Let that marinate. One of the most recognized women in hip-hop sitting in ICU, fighting for her life and allegedly paying out of pocket because she didn't trust the system. Is that bold? Or is it just foolish? Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching a story that'll be studied for years. A cautionary tale about fame, love, ego, and secrets. And as we wait, all we can do is wait for any official update from the family. We're left with one haunting truth. Papoose may be the last real one left standing. A man who stayed loyal through scandals, through public humiliation, through a possible deathbed betrayal. And yet, he never left. So now the final question looms like a dark cloud over this entire saga. Will Remy Ma wake up and finally tell the truth? Or will she take those secrets with her forever? Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just another celebrity headline. This is pain. This is loyalty. This is the kind of story that makes you question everything you thought you knew about love, fame, and what it means to ride till the wheels fall off. Papoose is standing in the fire right now, grieving, praying, and refusing to give up on the woman who may have betrayed him in ways the world still doesn't fully know. And Remy Ma, whether she wakes up or not, the damage is done. The secrets are out, and the world will never look at her the same again. But now, we turn it over to you. Do you think Remy Ma deserves forgiveness? Was Clarissa out of line or just finally speaking the truth? And what would you do if you found out your entire relationship might have been built on lies? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. Hit that like button if this story hit you in the chest and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered truth from the only channel that dares to expose what they try to hide. This is Gossip Spill Vibe, and trust us, the truth never stays buried for long.